Hello grade 6 flutes. So we're starting a new piece today. We're going to be looking at March Across the Seas. This is on page 20 in your book, and I believe Mr. Khan is setting this as a playing assignment, and he's going to give you 2 weeks to learn it. So unlike some of the other little tunes that we've done, this one's a little bit more involved. It's a bit longer, and it's more like a proper piece of music. Some of the other things were just like exercises, skill builders, whereas this is a proper tune. So that means that, you know, when we come together and play this, hopefully at some point in the future, we're all going to be playing different parts. So the trumpet part is slightly different to the flute part, which is slightly different to the clarinet part, whereas previously all the parts have just been the same for all the instruments. Okay, so let's do a warm-up first of all. We're going to play a B-flat major scale. This piece is in the key of B-flat. So we're going to play from our B, and we're going to play up to the G, 3 fingers. That is the highest note in this piece, and it's one of the highest notes that we've done so far on the flute. So I'll just demonstrate the notes we're going to be using. B flat, B flat, C, D, E flat, F, and G. The first 6 notes of the scale. Right, let's try that with the metronome. I'm going to set my metronome to 75 BPM. That is the speed that we're also going to try and play or learn the tune at to start with. And then hopefully we're going to speed it up a little bit. Right, here we go. So, just play with me, 1 note per measure, starting on B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now let's start on the G and play down the scale that we've just come up. 2, 3, 4. Very good. Okay, so don't forget when we play our middle D, this note, we should have our top finger off, and also when we go up to the E flat, top finger off. Okay, D, E flat, and then we put it back on again for the F and the G. Right, let's look at March Across the Stars. I'm going to play through this and I'm going to talk about the structure as we get to the different bits. So we can see that it's labelled at the start, introduction. So we're going to look at these first 4 bars. This is how it goes. Okay, so it's that simple rhythm. It's just quarter notes and half notes at the start here. And it's all within that range of those 6 notes that we did in the warm-up. We're playing at forte dynamic, that means we're playing nice and loud. We can see when we get to bar 5, it says first theme. And we can also see at bar 5 that there's the start of a repeat sign. So if I just show you on the music, right here, first theme. So that just means this is the first tune, if you like. There's 2 tunes in this, theme 1 and theme 2. So theme 1 starts here, and there's a repeat sign, so we know that we're going to be coming back to this point at some point soon. We're going to play here, and then we're going to go to here, and then we can see we've got a first time bar. So we're going to play that, repeat sign, back to here, and then we're going to play through again. But as you know, because I've already taught you this, when we get to here, the second time, we're going to jump to the second time bar. Okay, so I'm going to demonstrate now. I'm going to play from bar 5 up to bar 12 here, and I'm going to play the first time bar and then I'm going to stop. Here we go, this is bar 5. So that was the first theme up to bar 12, and then we're going to skip straight back to bar 5. Paperclip on. And then this time, when we get to bar 10, we're going to play bar 10. Bar 11 is actually going to be bar 13 because we're jumping to the second time bar. Also, very simple rhythms in this again, really, but we do have quavers or eighth notes in this. So look out for those notes that are joined together. Obviously, they're the eighth notes. They're twice as fast as the quarter notes. Right, I'm going to play from bar 5 again, but this time I'm going to take the second time bar and I'm going to stop at the end of bar 14. 2, 3, 4. So you can hear that that sounds like the end of a section. That was bar 14, and you can also see in that bar that we've got note, rest, note, rest. So we've got quarter note, rest, quarter note, rest. Then we've got the start of the second theme. So this is the second tune, if you like, that appears in this short piece. And we've got a change in dynamic. So up to this point, we've been playing. The introduction is forte, the first theme is moderately loud, the second theme it says piano, that means we're going to be playing it softly. Okay. Have a listen to the second theme then. So this time I'm going to play from bar 15 up to bar 22, and at bar 23 we get a reprise of the first theme, so that just means that the first theme comes back in again. So this is the second theme, bar 15. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bar 19 and 20, we actually have a rest. And then we're back in at bar 21. So that was the second theme, bar 15 to bar 23. At bar 23, we can see it says first theme, but we don't have the same as we played the first time. We've just got some notes there to highlight the melody, but there's another instrument that's going to be playing the melody at that point. So it could be the trumpets, it could be the saxophones, but it's definitely not the flutes at this point. So now I'm going to play the first theme again, but don't forget we haven't got the theme. This is bar 23 to the end. And you can see the last 4 bars are labelled as the closing, so it's like the outro, if you like. We've got an introduction and then we've got a closing at the end. So that's neither part of theme 1 or part 2, it's just the ending. Right, so this is bar 23 to the end. 2, 3, 4. Rest, rest, rest. 24. Rest, rest. Rest, rest. So that is the whole piece. So there's quite a lot of repetition in there, and theme 1, theme 2, they have similar ideas in them. There's no really complicated rhythms. It's fairly straightforward, so hopefully you're not going to struggle too much with this. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to play it all the way through at a slightly faster speed. So I'm going to put my metronome up to 100 BPM, and I believe this is the tempo that Mr. Callan wants you guys to play it at when you send in your recordings. That doesn't have to be this week though, remember, so you've got plenty of time to practice this, practice it slower. I'm just doing this so that you can hear how it sounds but I would advise practicing it slow, 70 beats per minute, 75 beats per minute, gradually speeding it up until you get up to 100 BPM. Okay, so this is what it sounds like at 100 BPM. Bar 21. So that is the whole piece played through at 100 BPM. So what I would recommend you guys do is try and practice it a little bit at a time. You don't have to always start at the beginning and play all the way through to the end. You could maybe practice the first introduction, the first time you practice, and then work on the first theme on your second practice, the second theme on your next practice, and so on. And then eventually, hopefully, you can put the whole thing together. But you don't have to keep starting at the beginning every time you practice this, because then you'll be able to play the beginning really well, but you won't be able to play the ending. Okay, so good luck with that. I will see you next time for our next lesson.